What it do, everybody? This is your boy, D Truth, and tonight we're gonna have a special one. Is a single mother protecting her kid from an inconsistent dad bitter? Now, Cherie Elliott is gonna be, I guess, in the defense for the women tonight on this discussion, and we're gonna be figuring out how and what she's going to be protecting the children from. So, that being said, I'm finna invite. Hold on. So, what we're going to be talking tonight is about a single mother protecting her kids and children from an inconsistent dad bitter. This is it's gonna be coming up in just a second, guys. We're waiting for her to come in, and we're gonna get started in here in just a minute. And she, welcome. Hi, Cherie. How you doing?
Hey.
Yeah, how you doing? All right. I can hear you just fine too. Um, the night is gonna be the topic is a single mother protecting her children from an inconsistent dad bitter. Now that almost sounds harsh within itself, but what would you think and what's your opinion on the topic it matter? What my first question would be, what would you be protecting the children from?
From having trust issues. I mean, when you steady have a person saying, I'm gonna come pick you up, I'm gonna come do this, I'm gonna come do that. And a lot of people really don't think kids pay that no attention. Oh, he little, he ain't gonna remember. These kids know. And especially if it's a single parent home, they know. Well, why ain't my daddy picking me up? So that's my opinion on that.
Well, my opinion would be it doesn't if the as long as the parent is trying, I would say as long as the parent is trying, you
Hmm.
should still with let the kids go with the other parent, in my opinion. Um,
Yeah.
everybody is not a trained parent. Everybody is not good at being a parent. Um, a lot of parents don't know how to be parents. There's not no parent training class that we can go to, but we have to accept people for who they are, and what they may in turn do in a parenting situation. Not everybody was brought up the same, and not everybody handled issues the same as well.
That's true.
So, what would you say? Would you say that most kids are successful though with a two-parent household?
Yeah, you most are successful in a two-parent household, but what are you supposed to do when that other parent isn't doing their part to be there? You it I mean, you don't have a choice but to take over and try to lead that child to do better because you can't force somebody to be there that don't want to be there or that ain't trying to be there. I mean, I know people try and all of that, but I mean, your kid's not a toy. You can't play with it when you want to, then just put it back. That it don't work like that.
Don't you think that could be like a personal thing if you think that they're doing it that way?
Not. I mean, for some, yes, but if you have a child that's coming to you and saying, "Why my daddy don't do this? Why my daddy don't do that?" Like you, as being the parent that's there all day, every day, that kind of hurts because it's like, how do I explain this to my kid? It's no way to explain it other than saying things will get better, which you know in your mind they probably won't, but you give that person the benefit of the doubt.
Well, I agree in the sense of positivity. So I wouldn't down that parent. If that
No.
parent doesn't come, you teach your kids the utmost, positive things about your other parent, even if you don't like them, because this is bigger than just you as the parent that's taking care of the children.
Mm-hmm.
And you as a parent, you do have a responsibility. If are the responsible one, then
Right.
it's okay that you're doing your job even if nobody comes up and say, "Hey, you're doing an awesome job," because sometimes single parents want to hear that because it
Yeah.
can't get hard, especially if you have more than one or two, maybe three children, and you're by yourself.
True.
Now, as far as being positive, did you see any like red flags before you conceived these children? Do you think you may have seen red flags before this happened?
Mm-mm. For me personally, no, not until it was too late, and it was just like, damn. So, because I was lied to. But I mean, I can't speak for everybody, but my experience, I was like in the beginning, that person always had their kids. I mean, every time I looked up, that person had
Right.
their kids, and I was like, okay, yeah, he's a good. And all of a sudden, it just stopped. And I was like, what the hell? It was put to me that the baby mother was jealous. She didn't want me around the kids. And I was like, okay. I didn't question it because you do have that happens. So that's what I took it as. I didn't want to get involved. It's like my business. I'll let y'all work that out. But in the end, I found out that was not true. That person just completely stepped away from those kids' lives. And I was like, that's wrong. You don't do kids like that. So by that time, hell, it was too late. I'm getting ready to have my child, but I was like, okay, maybe it'll get better. Maybe this person will open their eyes and wake up and be like, okay, I got to do better. I can't be like this. And it just continued to get worse. Continued to get the benefit of the doubt. It continued to get worse. And I just emotionally, I just got tired. Like I couldn't do it no more. And when you're a single parent and you have that other parent acting like that, it don't just take a toll on your child. It takes a toll on you too. Because you really have a lot of weight on your shoulders, especially my son's ADHD, ADD. This shit is not easy. It's not. So when you doing it all by yourself, it's like, shit, when are you gonna step in and do something? But me personally, I'm not gonna drag a motherfucker to do shit. You don't want to do it, don't do it. That's your loss. That's how I
Right.
see it. But it's nothing bitter about protecting your child from being hurt like that. When you left to be the only parent, that is your job to protect your child from being hurt like that. But one thing I've never done, never badmouth my kid's dad in front of them ever. They can't tell you one time because I've always told mine, I want y'all to judge for yourself when you get older. I don't want to be the one to say your dad ain't shit. I never say that unless you come say, oh, my dad ain't shit. I'll be like, you know what, he damn sure like, but you said it first, not me.
Do you think the dad may have been inconsistent because you made it hard for him? Did you give him a hard time, or were you
It
talking
ain't
bad
hard.
to
It
him?
ain't hard if I'm telling you come get his ass. His bag is packed. It stayed by the door. I needed a break.
Well, I can say I understand that as a single parent too. I mean, sometimes
Shit.
you do need a break.
And when
It
you
do
have a
get like
kid,
that.
when you have a kid that's ADHD and all they do is run all day, and it's just like, sit your ass down, stop. But they can't because they minds say run, and they run, and that's all they can do.
Would you what would you think would make another parent inconsistent? Do you think it may be um, yourself? Do you think it's just them and they don't want to, or what would be your opinion?
I don't know. I honestly don't. I even asked that question myself because when that person would, and I've been around friends with the same issue, male and female, and it's like you call and say, hey, this baby want to talk to you. Oh, I'll call back. I'm busy. You wait for that call back. You never get the call back. I was in that situation where it would be times where my mama made it hard for my dad to get me sometimes. And that little, when I was little, I didn't know what was going on. I just knew my daddy would show up to get me and my mama would say, nah, you ain't going. I never knew why. I was never explained why. All I knew was that's not nothing I ever put my kids through. I don't care what me and your daddy got going on. That ain't got nothing to do with my kid.
I
The
agree.
only
I agree.
way
I totally
I
agree.
would ever keep my kid away is if something or somebody is at that house that don't mean my baby no good. And I tell
Okay.
you, when that thing or whatever is gone away, my baby can come. But until then, no, I'm not going to intentionally send my child somewhere that's not a good environment.
Now, I see some people say in the comments, they go, you sorry ass daddy.
I'm laughing. That's
You
what I was
you you
laughing
shouldn't. Yeah, yeah. You shouldn't say nothing like that because at the end of the day, you chose that sorry ass daddy. You know what I'm
You know
saying?
what?
At the end of the day, you laid down with that sorry ass daddy,
And
and
that's true.
you had a
But
child with that sorry ass daddy.
and
But
I can honestly
hold
say
on,
that.
at the
That's
same
true.
time, that sorry ass daddy come 2, 3 years later and still want to get a relationship with their child. You need to let them have that relationship. And some people will be like, if my child say they don't want to go, I'm not gonna let them go. You shouldn't give your child that type of power. Number one, anything could happen to that parent and they lose that parent and that child will forever dread not spending time with that parent. I've known
Mhm.
people that have went through things like that, were not rekindling things with their parents. Even if your parent was not equipped at that time to be a parent, building a relationship later on sometimes work better than trying to, probably make a relationship when they're younger. Sometimes kids go off on their own. I can speak for myself. I went off on my own when I got older and rekindled my relationship with my father. I
Mhm.
had to do that. I felt like I needed to do that. I
Right.
did it on my own terms. But my mother never spoke bad. She let us see it. And I think
Mhm.
trying to protect them from an inconsistent parent can also falter on you as well because you have to let them know, regardless when he come, whenever he may come, let him go. Because
Mhm.
it seems like most of the time the child loves the parent that's not there. They don't like you because you're always on their butt because you stay with them. It
Mhm.
happens. I did it with my mama. I loved my pops, even though he wasn't there, but I loved him. I couldn't wait to see him. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
we got to keep that happiness about their parent. You know what I'm saying? It's fine. You know what I'm saying? I don't worry. She's not a part of this, but you know what I'm saying? I don't even worry about that because my understanding is totally different from everybody.
Mhm.
Everybody. I don't expect anything. You know what I'm saying? I sure don't be worried about anything because I handle my business. As long as my business is taken care of, I'm not gonna worry about the other person. At the end of the day, they're gonna have to live their own life and they're gonna have to ask their own questions. Because the children are gonna get older. The children are gonna ask the question. I think we shouldn't protect our children from reality because they need reality. Reality brings forth character. And when they see this, you know what I'm saying, they'll be like, well, you know what? This is how my parent handled the situation and I can handle the situation. Understand,
Mhm.
there will be a little hate. That
Yeah.
it happens. It will be you will renege from the other parent because you feel like you were left out or you was treated a certain kind of way, or they may feel, you might have treated somebody over them. You know how it gets with children.
Right.
And these children aren't dumb. They're not dummies. They're very
Mhm.
smart. So let your child do their own testament. You don't do the testament for the child. But when that daddy comes or that mama comes that ain't been around in a year, so the fuck what?
Mhm.
They coming.
Right.
Thank God they coming.
My.
Blessed to Almighty Allah, whoever you want to call him, they
Mhm.
they came. And we got to
Right.
learn to understand that we have to pull ourselves back. We have to pull ourselves back. What if we were this inconsistent parent? I mean, you got to understand what an inconsistent parent is thinking of, especially over time. Like if you got you a 10, 11-year-old boy that you ain't never seen, and then you trying to rekindle something, he's going to renege because you haven't been there. And it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
Some people can't handle that.
Right.
Some people can't face that. And that's like facing yourself. You have to put yourself in another person's shoes. That's why we as a community and as people, when we have partners, we have to put ourselves in the other person's shoes because we could be sorry too. That don't mean we're the best parent. That don't mean we teach our kids the best thing. That don't mean that just because we do what we were supposed to do, which is be responsible parents, adults, because they didn't ask to be here.
Right.
Somebody got to step up. So when we
Mm-hmm.
do step up, let's make sure we stepping up out of the love for our children and out of the hate of our partner.
Right.
And that's where we got to take it out of. Like, what I'm saying? Some of us, you can, if you're going to take them to court, you don't have to put them on child support if you don't want to. But if you feel like you're going to struggle, do what you got to do.
Mm-hmm.
Do what you got to do. If you feel like you can handle it by yourself, handle your business.
And you know what? That's true. Um, there's nothing wrong with taking that parent to court and doing what you got to do. Don't do it out of spite. Don't do it because y'all broke up,
Right.
or you see
Absolutely.
he's with
Absolutely.
somebody else, or he happy, or like, for example, I was at the shop a couple of weeks ago getting my hair braided, and I heard a girl in there bragging about putting her baby daddy on child support because he
Like,
took,
this shit is amazing. Like, that's awesome.
yeah, and she
It's
was
not
like, I
awesome.
see he on what did she say? He all on Instagram with his new bitch. They done went to New Orleans. He proposed to her.
So
So
would. So
I
would.
already did my paperwork and I sent it in. And I'm looking at her like, what the hell? He
Good in the
calls.
motherfucker.
Yeah, he calls while she's sitting there. He wants to talk to his daughter. He FaceTiming her, showing her some souvenirs he got her from New Orleans. She took the phone from the little girl and say, we ain't got time to talk to you. Go play with your bitch, and hung the phone up.
Wow.
That's some stuff, because that's some stuff that I'm like, you don't do that. If you gonna go to court, I know plenty of women who went to court and put their baby daddy on child support simply because you ask for their help, and then you just like, you know what, forget it, we're just gonna let the courts handle it. And you do
Mm-hmm.
have some that go in there because they're bitter. But
Absolutely.
when I made the choice to do mine, it had nothing to do with being bitter. And I even told him, I don't want to put you on this, but at that time I really needed help. And I was having to be off work all the time because my son would have fits. That was before I knew he was in, ADHD and all of that. So I was constantly having to take off. He wasn't trying to help. So I didn't have a choice. It had nothing to do with being bitter, even though that does happen. But as far as, like you said, like, oh, when the parent has been away and they come pick the kid up, let them go. I say, yeah, let them go too. But when your kid comes to you and they crying because they don't understand why they had to come back home so quick, or why my daddy don't pick me up when he say he going to, then it affects their grades at school. It affects their relationship with their friends. Like, they don't even want to be around other people and all of that. Like, that bothers you as a parent because you feel like you constantly sending that child over there to be hurt. So, I mean, when you have parents that come get the kid and will put the kid off on somebody else, like, what the hell did you even come get him for?
This is
And
true.
then you
This
have
is true.
parents that come get them. They know they don't have money to do anything with their kid, but they just sit in the house and watch TV all day. And to me,
Does it take
that's better
money
than
to make a
nothing.
child happy though? I mean,
Yes,
have we
that
made
that,
our
that
chi-
that's
have
better
we
than
made our
nothing.
children that materialistic to where they just
Right,
can't come and chill with their parents? See, we got to think of how
right.
we raising our children too. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't. If a parent feels like they need money to
Mm.
satisfy their child, that's gonna be rough, man. And if they don't have it, what you want them to do?
And I
Yeah,
mean,
I
I knew
mean,
that parent didn't have money, so I would send money. Her a trip to McDonald's will make his damn day. That
but
13
you can
month
only
old,
do so much. You can only do so much
and that's
to
true. That's
a
true.
Biden ready and able working adult. You can only
Right.
do so much for the other adult because you have to live too. And you got to
That's
make
true.
sure your children are fed too. Now, me,
But
myself, opinion wise, I think I don't have to send clothes. I think I don't
and
have
you
to
shouldn't.
send
You
food.
shouldn't. And that's how
I don't
I
think
feel.
if I have to send clothes, okay, make sure they come back. But
You ain't,
at the same
you ain't,
time, I want my clothes. You know what I'm talking about? I want my clothes back. But at the same time, you know what I'm saying? That parent has to have a roof for their head because you don't want them going every which way and they don't have nowhere to go. I understand that situation. That
yeah.
parent has to be in a stable environment to have my child. Or
Right.
in, you know what I'm saying? Anybody logically, I would have to think that way. So sometimes when they do drop off to somebody else, you know what I'm saying? It more than likely it's a grandma or mama or something like that, and they in a stable environment. And if they don't stay there long, explain to them why. Tell
Right.
them why. Well, that's why I say you be protecting kids from reality. We can't keep them in la la land. Number one, they are understanding their own time. And if they
Hmm.
gonna cry, like I tell mine, cry it out. Get it out the way. We're gonna
Yeah.
get it out the way, and then we're gonna talk about it, how you feel, how it made you feel. And then as you talk to your children, they'll be more open. And then that helps with the crying. Okay, so now when they get older, they get used to this. They'll understand because you'll adjust. Naturally, you will adjust. Okay, and when the time comes, the right questions will be asked at the right time,
True.
and everything will fall into place. I know a lot of things we want to happen right now, right now, right now. We want it fixed right now, and it's hard. You know what I'm saying? When they asked about them, and you call them, call them. I have no problem doing it. Call them. Let the
Hmm.
phone ring. Hey, I called him. It's okay though. We'll try
Yeah.
again next time. You know, you got to keep your mental on a positive mode at all times, regardless of what their parents is, regardless of what their parent problem may be. Long as my kid and my child, now you can still be firm because we're talking to an adult.
Hmm.
Hey, you need to have kids for my child at your house. That means you're thinking about them. If you need some sizes, it's okay to call me. I'll give you every size you need. I do it
Right.
every day. I buy shoes, I buy clothes. That's fine. You need some information, I got you. Now,
Hmm.
how often your clothes will fit, how long you see them, that's on you.
Hmm.
But I'm not going to be upset because I'm doing what I need to do. As long as you're doing what you need to do, as long as we are keeping our children in reality that, hey, it's all about love at the end of the day. Your
Right.
pop or your mom still loves you, but everybody does not react the same as everybody else. We can't expect everybody
Everybody.
to be the same. We can't expect them to be us. We can't expect you. You can't walk through life expecting somebody to be who you are because it's not gonna work. It's
Right.
not gonna happen. And if you expect more of somebody than you expect yourself, expect nothing then, because you're not in reality. You're in the falsehood of, oh, this is how this is supposed to work. When at the end of the day, that person doesn't think that way.
Right. But you know what? Some kids can handle the reality of things, some can't. And when you realize that you have a child that really can't handle that because they feel like it's their fault, no matter how many times you tell them it's not, they still feel like it's their fault. And I'm speaking from my experience. I can't speak for everybody, kids. My
Right.
child is extremely sensitive.
Okay.
And I do the best I can to explain stuff to him. But once he got it in his mind, it's his fault, then that's just what that is. But I still do my part as the parent to talk to him and explain stuff the best I can. Cause like I tell
Hmm.
all my kids, don't never feel like nothing is your fault. And like I
Right.
explained to mine, you are damn smart, and he really is. I don't know where the hell he got it from because I barely passed through high school,
Mm,
so
mm.
I don't know. You don't start, hush. But I tell him all the time, you are very smart.
I
Like
had
you
to
gonna
find
really
colors.
grow up. Shut up. You gonna really grow up and be something. And if that person don't, want to take out the time to be a part of that, that's on them. I mean, I don't care. But my child is not one of them that can handle all parts of reality. And when it got to the
But
point
we can't
where
hide that, Cherie.
no, oh no,
We
no, no.
can't
I
hide
don't
that.
hide it. I just when I see him about to have one of his moments, I do
Hmm.
get him and be like, come here, come talk to me. What is it?
Okay.
Let it out. Let's talk to try to help him, because for a while it was messing with his grades. The teacher was calling me all day, every damn day. But I knew what was wrong with him, and that was all he wanted. But at the time, I was like, hell, you can't make somebody be there that
Did you
don't want to be
did
there.
you present this to the father?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So did he have to
But
say so? Would it have
doing
been
this
better
right
for him to
here,
just talk to him?
this right here was more important. And playing games was more important than spending time. And I just got to the point where, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not gonna beg you. You come, you come, you come. If you don't, you don't. I don't care. I did my part to reach out to you to
Mm-hmm.
let you know how things are. You don't want to be a part? Fuck you. Oh well. I'm not gonna tell my son that, but as far as me constantly reaching out, I'm not gonna keep reaching out to you. You know where the hell your child is at. You know his number. You know where he lives. Call. It's not that hard. I don't give a damn if y'all sit at the house. Like I told, I don't care if y'all sit at the house and watch Discovery Channel all day, because that's his shit. That's what he likes to watch.
Yeah.
It's a bonding moment. The smallest things will make a kid happy.
Yeah, you're right. It doesn't
And if
take too
you're
much.
not
A
even
little
willing to do that,
creativity will go a long way with a little kid.
especially mine, it don't take much. You can go get some Play-Doh and you got him quiet for at least 4 hours, because he finna make all kinds of shit.
Hey, most of
Get
them,
it.
you know what I'm saying? We put some tablets in their hands. You know what I'm saying?
And see, that's what I
Kids,
don't like.
kids
Now,
be
if we
2
if
years
we on
old
the
and
road
I
and we
already know
taking
how
a
to press the eggs.
yeah. Now, if we on the road, we taking a road trip. Yeah, by all means, get your tablet. Shut up, because I know it's gonna be a long ride. Just do what you got to do. But when we at home, I go outside, draw, read a book. I don't. I'm not gonna toss a tablet in your hand every time you look at me. That's
Right.
just not what that is.
If your children are of age, like considering their feelings, right? So
Hmm.
he wanted to talk to dad, right?
Yeah,
Every time that he asked, did you call?
yeah. He got a phone. If he go in
Like
there
he
and
got his
say,
own phone.
uh-huh, he don't even have
So
to
do
ask me.
so does he call his dad?
Uh-huh.
He talk to him,
Not often.
but he's there every now and then.
Every now and again he'll call, and I'm fine. I wish it was every day, but it's not. I'm at the point where we're trying to rebuild that. So
Relationship between you two
yes,
or him and
between,
the child.
but for him and the child. But his thing was trying to get my trust back, because there were times where you'd say, "Oh, I'm on my way," and never show up, and this happened all the time. Or,
So
"Hey, bring him
even
to
if
me."
he now where he got to get your trust back, he should be. You're not a part of the equation. It's
Hmm.
him and the child. You are the middle person to connect with the child. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, if that child wants to see his dad and he calls, I don't understand how you say you gaining your trust. He should
Hmm.
gain that child's trust. It should be about the child. At the end of the day, it should be about the child first and foremost. Y'all
Hmm.
already did y'all thing. Okay, all we thinking about is the child's feelings, and we agree that hey, you say you gonna come. Really, I wouldn't even tell my child. I want to tell him when he say he's coming. If he come, he come. If he don't, the child never know if he never been told.
Right. And after a while, I did stop saying, "Oh, he coming." But when I say get my trust back, it's also getting his trust back. But when he mentioned getting my trust back, was for me to trust that he could be a better father, is what I
Okay, he
mean.
was giving you a promise.
Yeah, that he would do
Okay,
better. And I'm like, if you're not gonna call every
that's
day,
fine. That's
that's
fine.
cool. But
Yeah,
just call. I don't care if it's once a week. Call. Let him hear your voice. Let him know you thinking that that you're thinking about him.
right.
That's it. But we did discuss where he wants to talk to me and be able to get my trust, to see that he's trying to do better, even though I shit ain't nothing changed. But
Are
I'm
y'all communicating better as adults? Because you got to understand what you want to change.
you
Number
know
one,
what?
y'all are just y'all. Even though y'all did have a child together, y'all have a connection. That's y'all main connection. But we got to make sure the feelings aren't involved. So
Oh,
when we
see,
saying that we're communicating, Y'all are communicating on a level based of, okay, we had our issue. Let's put this aside and let's build better for our children. So they
Right.
can see that two parents, two adults are acting like adults, and this is how we act and this is how we get along with each other. This is where we're starting from. This is our starting point. And when the kids see mama and daddy getting along, that changed the whole dynamic of everything. So it's okay that daddy is gone for at this moment, or it's okay that mama is gone at this moment because I know mama and daddy love me,
Mm,
regardless of what's going on between mom and dad. So we
mm,
have to keep it real. We have to keep it real with our kids. And hey, mom and daddy don't get along, but that doesn't change anything between you and daddy, mama and daddy at all.
oh yeah,
Mama
I've
loves you
always
just
made
as much.
that clear.
Daddy loves you just as much.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So things are a little difficult, but we'll get back. We'll get better. And we gotta keep that faith in our children that things will get better. Everything gets better at its own time.
Right.
Um, Me pushing the issue in my experience, I think why things got better. Understand, I was very upset and I handled that a different kind of way too. Probably could have handled it different, but I was so angry and
Mm,
needed to say what I needed to say that I kind of blew up. But then I had to come back and talk. You know what
right.
I'm saying? So, because it's a sensitive subject of one of your parents, for a while not speaking to you or not being with you, not coming to your games, not coming to your sporting event. I mean, it's a lot. Like when you accomplish things and you only see one parent or none of your parents because mama got to work because she's by herself, or daddy got to work because he by himself, and the other parent ain't gonna show up because they want to do what they want to do, and you really got to push yourself as a child. You have to be self-motivated, and we don't think about things like this.
Hmm.
And even though we might be thinking we're doing the right thing, I got my kid in sports, my kid is educated, my kid is all this, but at the same time, we're still probably not ourselves putting enough time into our children as to why they feel like they're left out.
Right.
Even though, we have to we have to figure out ways, even if it's not the initial parent, to bring the other family into. I'm a big family oriented type person. So my child has about 10, 11 uncles, and only two of them are his real uncles. No, excuse, three. Three are his real uncles. Rest of them, they're not his uncles, but he see them as uncles.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's showing him his love all around. It's not just the parents. We got to let the kids see that there's love everywhere, from grandma to the other grandma, even if you don't like her ragged ass. From the aunties that's on the other side, even if you don't like that cock whole mouth bitch, or whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? We have to put ourselves aside and be parents and be adults. I understand what you're saying. We have to. And I know it's hard as shit to be that big
Woo!
person, you know what I'm saying? Like the big, hey, I gotta be the big one, I gotta be the mature one.
Right.
Okay, I don't like this funky bitch, but I'm gonna let my kid go with this motherfucker today because I need a break because I'm gonna catch up on some sleep when that little
Yeah.
motherfucker gone. I mean, that's how we think, you know what I'm saying? Hey, as parents that keep their kids every day.
But you know
Sometimes
what?
we be like, "Ooh, shit," but as long as we make sure that we showing our kids all all day long that it's love at the end of the day. It's love. You can see my child smiling and gonna hug you
Hmm.
because it's love there. It's love everywhere. Your kids give off what you give them.
Right.
So constantly, we have to show our kids love, regardless of what we are going through. If we having issues, we need to seek counsel. We need to
Right.
actually sit down and say, "Hey, I'm fucked up. I need to get fixed." You know what I'm saying? Or if
Right.
somebody's trying to do it themselves, encourage them. Don't be
Hmm.
like, "Oh, motherfucker, finally." No, I'm glad you came. The kids are right here. For real, because that's discouraging. You
I'm
know,
glad you came.
I know,
I ain't
I
gonna
know.
lie. When I
I'm
got
just
that
being raw
phone
about
call,
it.
I said it. Goddamn,
Yeah,
that's right.
I'm just being raw about it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how we think. We think like that as human beings, as adults. We be like, "Oh, I'm glad that dumb motherfucker came." Shit. You know, whew, thank God. And all you gonna do is not do shit. All you gonna do is be fat. All you gonna do is lay the fuck around. You talking about you gonna clean up and fold your clothes. You ain't gonna do shit.
Yeah.
You gonna lay around that motherfucker, be the sorriest parents you can be because you ain't got no kid in the house. You don't give a fuck about nothing on the floor. You don't give a fuck about the clothes in the dry. You don't give a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
finally, freedom.
But
You know
you
what
know
I'm
what
saying?
though, when you say being real family oriented, when my son played baseball, I gave that person the, days that the games were. Games, tournaments, not one game was he there. Not one. But
So
my
what?
son's grandparents on that side came. Mind
Absolutely.
you,
And that's the
his
love.
grandfather is not in the best health, but he made sure that he came to them games.
And that's the love
And
you show your child.
that was enough for my son. When he, why am I ain't here? Okay, but look in the stands. Look who is that over there. When I tell you he played his ass off at every game
Mm-hmm.
when he saw his pawpaw. And that was good enough. And I was like, I wish he was that other person, but he'll come around when he's ready. But long as some love from somewhere on that side, because I never wanted my child to feel like it ain't but one side that care.
Right,
No,
right.
both sides care, baby. And if you look over there they is. And throughout his whole life, I can honestly say his grandparents, his grandfather mainly, never missed a beat. Never
Right.
missed a birthday party, never missed nothing. And that's been a real big factor. You do wish it was the other parent, but like you say,
You do.
some people it take longer
Yes,
to
it do.
come around.
It does. Right.
But
And
my thing is,
hopefully, it don't be too late either when they finally make that turnaround.
and
You know?
sometimes I do feel like it is because my child got to the point where he wouldn't ask for that person, he'd ask for his papa. And I'm like, well, why you don't want to go? I want to see my papa.
Right.
I didn't like that because I'm like, okay, now you got him feeling some type of way. I don't want him to never be that way.
Yeah.
But like I told him, I don't want to say it's too late. If you gonna do it, do it right. If not, I feel like because my child got my attitude, and I'm like, you fuck up this time, that's it, and that's on you, not on me, because I'm here all day, every day. But my baby has my attitude. He act like me. Once you keep poking that bird, that's it. Like, and I don't want him to get. I don't want him or if for any child for that matter to get to the point where they see the
Very
person
smart,
that
man.
helped bring them into this world and they feel some type of way. You should never look at your daddy or your mama and feel
Mhm.
like that. That's
Right.
that's that's not it. But you got some parents out there that will put a kid in that position to feel like that, and that's not fair.
Do you think you're a part of I don't need a man movement?
Hell no.
Thank God.
Shit, no, I ain't gonna never say
I
that.
didn't
I
want to.
will say,
I
I
really didn't
will
want to
say
go there with you. I really did.
no, I'm not.
Hopefully, she says
I
no.
believe every parent need, every household need that man and that woman, or that woman and woman, if you into that kind of thing, whatever.
Absolutely.
But I feel like every child needs both parents, whether y'all together or not. You don't have to be
Right.
together to raise a child. My
No, you
oldest
don't.
two, I can honestly say, me and they dad ain't been together in years, but they dad ain't never missed a beat ever. If I say, hey, the kids are in town, shit, here he come. He coming to get his kids. And
Right.
that's what I like. Like me and him, we can't stand each other, but that has never affected the way you shut up. That ain't never affected the way we are towards our kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, we talked about this. Don't start.
Yes, absolutely. I haven't started yet. I just laugh, just chuckle. Ta, ta, ta. It's funny. But yeah, that's understandable. You know what I'm saying? And we're glad that that happens because we have dads out here that's actually trying. And I'm kudos to the dads, or let me say this, kudos to the parents that are actually trying and actually
Mm-hmm.
taking the time to go see their children. Because you could be a sorry ass. You could be sitting there and say, fuck it, you know what, fuck them kids. You know what I'm saying? You could do
Uh-huh.
that. But as it has to, us as a people have to understand that we cannot interfere with children and the other parent. Now, if that parent is abusive, if that parent is a perv, you know what I'm saying? Keep your fucking children away from that person. Okay,
Right.
they need to go whatever you're gonna do with them. Do with them. You know what I'm saying? But as far as if y'all can be two civil adults and actually work it out to where, hey, and realize that our children need us, not just me. They need us. They need both of us. They need both of our opinions. They
Mm-hmm.
need both of our insight. They need both of our example, regardless of how that other parent may act, how irresponsible you may think that parent may be, or they past might be a little funky, but so the fuck what right now? As long as they're loving that child, as long as they're doing right by that child, when they have that child, step the fuck back.
Mm-hmm.
Get out the way. Because you'll fuck up some shit trying to be in the way.
Right.
You'll mess up a child's whole life, and then you'll wonder why your child is reneging on you
Mm-hmm.
and not the other parent that wasn't there because you was in the way. We have
Right.
to realize that sometimes we have to take a step back, move around, let things happen on their own. And when
Mm-hmm.
things happen on their own, then you can get the results that you're looking for. It might not happen as fast as you could. We like shit to happen right now. We be
Right.
like, I wish my child go on and give him these motherfucking questions that he asked you. Because then you even get mad at them, be like, well, ask your goddamn daddy or mama. Ask him. You
Yeah.
know you're not supposed to be saying no shit like that. Not to
Right.
no child anyway, because then they're going to look at you like, well, shit, they ain't here. That's why I'm asking you. But you know what I'm saying? But we don't think that rational either, because we be upset about the situation. We shouldn't be upset about the situation at all. We
Right.
should take our time as parents, man, and try to figure out ways. How can we make this situation better ourselves? You know what I'm saying? Can we do something that the other parent is interested in that they may want to do with the child? I don't know. Shit, invite them somewhere. I don't know. But as long as you reached out, if they don't come, oh fucking well, he'll miss
Right.
this exciting shit going on because we finna have fucking fun. I ain't gonna even tell the kids that motherfucker coming, but we finna do what I plan on doing anyway. At
Right.
the end of the day, and that's how we got to think about it. We got to remove ourselves, and a lot of times, I mean, even in my own experience, I have to remove myself because if I keep putting myself in it, I'll be a dark, ignorant son bitch, and I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to be that type of person. You know what I'm saying? My other parent is not on child support. I chose that. I
Right.
wanted everything 50-50. I don't want to keep nothing from nobody, and I paid the cost. A lot of things that people don't understand. If you wanna make something, pay the cost. Make it
Mm-hmm.
happen. You gotta fight, man. If you really want it, you'll fight for it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's where a lot of people are losing to that too, especially as men. But this will be another subject, guys. Just to let you know, we have to defend ourselves too. Just like y'all women, y'all already got rights, man. I had to get mine. I had to pay for mine.
And you know what? I
That
salute you
shit
for that
crazy.
because you have a lot of dads out there that just would have been like, fuck it. But dads like you, because I worked at the daycare with him, so I'd seen a lot, I knew a lot. So I can honestly say I give you your props on that because you was not that dad that was just gonna roll over and deal with no shit.
No, absolutely not.
Right. So and it's not very many fathers out there like you. And I see
Yes,
the
they are.
fathers that it ain't enough. I see the dads
Well,
out
it
there that
depends on
are
who we
like
pick.
you.
Don't forget, it depends on who we pick
Yeah,
because
that's
we
true.
all pick our partners.
We
So
do
it
pick them.
depends on who we pick
But
because
you
there
know
are
what?
good guys. I've seen with our experience is a little different because I see guys trying their
Mm-hmm.
damnedest to see their kids, and we have so many
Bitter.
bitter
Yeah.
bitches. Oh my God! And we don't call them that. That's the ones that, if it applies, that's what's up. If it don't, let it fly. But you have some bitter, and I can't just say women either. It can be either or. You got some bitter motherfuckers that give people a hard time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to make this like a one-sided male female type thing, but because it goes either way. But you have so much bitterness, especially if somebody may think that the other person is happier with somebody else. Some people have to deal with that mentally.
Yeah.
Or if you feel like they treating them better than they treated you, you have to deal with that mentally. And
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, you got to realize this that shit don't even fucking matter because we not together no more.
Right.
It's over with. We're done. So I had my run, and if he learned something from that, or she learned something from the relationship and actually got better, well, okay, that wasn't a dumb motherfucker. That I guess so. You know, that's all we could say. Or if that
When I
person,
say when I say that there are not very many, I've seen women such as the young lady at the beauty salon,
mhm,
and the way she was acting, and she was calling him everything but what his name was, but not one
absolutely,
time did he cuss at her. He didn't
hmm
disrespect her. He said,
hmm
listen, I just want to FaceTime my daughter. You won't let
that's
me
it.
see her. Like, I heard this whole conversation. You won't let me see her. Can I just FaceTime my daughter? Fuck
And
you,
that's
hoe
that.
ass nigga, blah, blah. And I'm like, why I couldn't end up with a baby daddy like that? Like, damn,
Told
he
your baby daddy that, but
all
we're
in
not gonna get
shit.
into that. We're not gonna get into
No,
that.
you
You
know
told
what?
your baby
I
daddy.
want people, yes, I want people to quit saying that, because now you do have some girls that get with these dudes that you, bitch, you knew he was sorry before he got with you, before you got
So
with him,
you
and you
saying
still
it
did
was
that.
no inkling that your baby
No,
daddy
no,
was
no.
gonna
And
be
I'm gonna
like
tell you why. When I first met him, he was working, he had his own transportation, he was taking
that?
care of his kids. It
Hmm.
was like a light switch. And when the shit flipped, I was like, what in the hell happened to you? And I even asked him, what the fuck happened to you? You was not like this. And he couldn't give me an answer. He was just like, I don't know. And me trying to be a good woman, well, look, I'm gonna help you get your shit back together because your babies need you.
But he lost
You
his
can't
job or
be
something?
going around here acting like this.
He lost his job or something?
He did, and I helped him get another one. And it got
Okay.
to where you would rather be, it was dumb shit. You would rather get high at work, get caught, and every single time it would be the same shit. And I'm like, you know what? I can't do
Now,
this shit no more. Your
that's a
ass
red
is just
flag.
fucking retarded.
If he's losing jobs from smoking weed,
And that's when I did this shit right here. I'm not finna keep doing it. You a grown ass man. Not
you
finna
should
raise
have.
no grown ass man.
Well, I mean, okay, you made a mistake, but I mean, you couldn't stick by him. You know, just smoke some weed.
I can, you know what? And I was like, well, it's just weed, but what
Right.
food is gonna go to work with it? You took it to work. To
But
work.
you didn't know he was retarded enough to do something like that beforehand?
Honestly, he put on such a good front. And I was like, okay, I really saw him
A
trying. I
front
really
that
did.
long that you could have a kid with him? Were
When
y'all engaged?
no, he was working when I got pregnant. He was working. Lost
Yeah,
that
pregnant
job, started trying
before
to go
you
do
and that.
trucking. You shut up. Started trying to go do trucking. Oh my goodness, that ain't no cigarette. Started trying to started trying to do trucks, dry trucks and stuff. And I was like,
Shout
okay,
out
he
to
didn't
you.
let that little incident get him down. Cool. I like that you steady trying to keep going. But then it just, I don't know. Like
Shouldn't
cannot
you, as his queen, encourage him to keep pushing?
I did. I even when it came time to take his test, I paid for it. I paid
But it's
for it.
not a lease. It's not a lease on a relationship. Y'all should have
It's
been
not
together like y'all were getting married, right? When y'all
no.
stay together,
Towards the end we did. But
y'all
it
was
got
staying
to the
together.
point. Yeah.
So why
It
y'all stacking and not getting married? What's going on? Because the
when
highest honor you can give a man is have his baby.
that's true. That's
Now,
true.
you as that woman have to hold yourself accountable because
Oh, I do.
you was letting him raw dick and
No, no.
unleash spirits inside you because
No,
that's
no.
how you got a child.
No, no. I was on birth control,
You
and
married?
he was on he wore protection. I still can't tell you how the hell that happened. I was like, I'm what? Because I didn't want no more kids. He wore
So he had
protection.
on the
I didn't want,
condom, you on the
yes,
depot. Let's say
no, well, no
depot or the
depot,
pill.
the pill. And I still turned up pregnant.
Girl, you know depot is the number one leading don't have a baby symptom
You know what?
solving
I
problem
should have let them
in
shoot
the
my
county.
ass up. I know it.
That means you weren't taking the birth control pills, right?
You
You sitting
damn
there raw
lie.
dicking
Was
and stuff.
popping
What's
like
wrong with you?
M&Ms because I didn't want no more kids.
If you fucking, you plan on having a kid.
No, not if you use a protection
Yes, you
device.
are.
Not if you use a protection.
Anytime you fucking, you plan. Sex is to procreate. not just to bust a nut.
Uh-huh.
So, with that being, every time y'all had sex, it was a chance of you having a child.
Which is
Now,
why I said use protection.
right, but you saying he used protection and you got pregnant? That's impossible.
Unless he did something that I didn't see, he put a hole. I don't know. I know I did my part to not get pregnant. I didn't want no more kids.
How you do your part and you got pregnant? Even if he didn't have a condom, you supposed to have been taking the birth control pills. Am I
I
correct?
just said I was taking birth control. Was
Obviously
popping
not.
them
You got
every
pregnant.
day.
You got pregnant.
Every day. I didn't want no more kids. Which is why when I told him I was pregnant, he didn't even act surprised. And I was
Pregnant,
like,
Cherie.
what you say?
You got pregnant. It's no. You must have missed a day or something.
Mm-mm.
There's no way.
And that's what I kept
You
saying.
should have sued. You should have sued the 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 people you got their fucking shit from, but they gave you sugar pills.
I should have, cause ain't no way in hell that I mean I love my baby to death, but ain't no way in fuck. Cause when they told me I was pregnant, I said, "Who? Let me pee again, cause I know you lying."
So why are you shacking though and not getting married?
That subject came up, and it was me. I was just like, no, I'm not ready for that yet. I don't know
So
about
if
that
you're not ready
because
for that, why are you in the dating game?
I wasn't ready for that with him. When they got to that point when he
You
brought
should
that
have
up,
moved on. You should have moved on before then.
hell, I
You
did.
had to see something. You had to see something
When I
that
stopped,
was a
when he
red
asked
flag
me,
before this happened.
no, I swear. And when I'm gonna tell you how serious it got, I had to sit down with this person's parents, and I was
Hmm.
just like, "What
Why
is
are you
going
going
on?"
through
And they
such
said,
extremes?
"Because I wanted to know how the fuck did you flip like that? Why did you go from being?"
Maybe that wasn't him in the first place and you fell for the okie doke. How about
And
that?
you know what's crazy? That's what came out of his dad's mouth.
You fell
He
for it.
say, "I really think we all fell for the okie doke because who the hell changes up like that?" And when I see it wasn't getting no better, because I didn't want to just get goals. I was just trying to be a good person at that time. But
I
when I
don't think
seen, okay, you not trying, I'm not gonna babysit you. I got to go. I got to move around. You
this is
don't,
after you was pregnant.
yeah. Because when the baby was coming, he was trying. That's when he was like, I need, let me go and do these trucks. I
So
gotta get
why didn't you
myself
try to
right.
make it work out with the kid? You knew you finna have a kid with him, right? Why
You
didn't you
can
try to
make
work
some,
it
but
out?
you know what? You can't make somebody do something they don't want to do. When I realized, okay, you really just gave up. You really just ain't trying to grow up. I had to take my baby and gone on and do the shit on my own.
Okay.
And that's to
That makes sense.
any woman, any man. Ain't don't sit around and wait for somebody to get their shit together. They keep showing you who they are. Fuck them.
Number one, if you're not mentally ready to be in relationships, seek counseling. If you have trauma, if
Mm-hmm.
you have issues, and this goes for everybody,
Yeah.
if you have issues, if you just got out of an abusive relationship and you still leery to be around dudes, you need not to be in the dating game.
Now you need to be
Dudes,
by yourself.
if a female cheated on you and you still ain't, you think females ain't shit, you need to leave the dating game alone until you feel like females are shit, because everybody is not the same. You know what I'm saying? And you got to think about this, because we think as a whole, right? So if one motherfucker do something to us, all these niggas ain't shit. All
That's
these bitches ain't shit. And you're not supposed to
right.
think like this, number one. So that's where we'll come back to, like, picking our partners. We have to, first, we have to love ourselves and be happy with ourselves. If you're not happy with yourself, don't go looking for no relationship, because you're going to attract what you feel like. And when
Right.
you attract motherfuckers that ain't shit, because you don't feel like you ain't shit either. So you attract that energy. You're going to get that ain't shit ass person. But when
Right.
you know that you about some shit, that ain't shit ass person ain't finna fuck with you like that. They ain't going to be able to manipulate you like that, because you done this before and you done seen it before. Now it comes to you making that right decision. And everybody be like, oh, I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. I don't want to hear this shit.
Mm-hmm.
This is my motherfucking life. You understand what I'm talking about? And at the end of the day, if they're not making you happy, we have to make this decision to move forward. a lot of us stick in too long, and then when it's too late, we try to jump out, and
Right.
that's making it bad. We done already got ties. We didn't got a kid. We done had 2 or 3 kids. We done been together 3 or 4 years. Ain't nobody pull out no ring. What the fuck are we doing?
Right.
We got to figure it out, guys. We got to figure it out, and we got to look at ourselves and not just the person either, because we got to wonder why this person is acting like this. And if we feel like they're doing it wrong, okay, let's go to counseling together. Let's
Yeah.
figure it out. If you want to be serious about it, you'll go through every step possible first before you let it go.
Yeah.
And this shacking that we doing is really making it tough. We got to stop this. You know, back in the day, it used to be more of you went out, you know what I'm saying? Y'all go out together, you know what I'm saying? He got his own place to stay, you got your own place to stay, or vice versa, and we come together as one, and that's how it happens. But now we shacking up, nigga. Ain't nobody taking no knee before we stand together. We doing it backwards. We
Yeah.
having kids and we not married. We doing it backwards as fuck. So now we having all these problems, and we wondering why we having these issues, or why we have to talk about an inconsistent parent, or why we have to talk about a sorry motherfucker. Well, we fuck with that sorry son bitch. We knew that motherfucker was walking when we met him, but we stayed with him anyway because, oh, he had some ambition about himself. He was a hustler. Okay, if he had ambition and was a hustler, you should have kept your funk ass with it. You
Mm-hmm.
seen him as a hustler and what you dreamed of, I guess, or whatever you thought your fantasy may be, and it didn't turn out to be that. But you didn't do it in the right order. You didn't ask for that. Hey, no, you're not gonna be doing this for me, and if you can't do this for me, we can't make this happen. Or
Right.
if you got to stay with me because you ain't got nowhere to go, we got to make this happen. No, you don't have to. Is what we have to stand. We have free will, and we got to understand. We got to take responsibility for majority of the things that are happening to us, because we are accountable at the end of the day. We are, because none of us are virgins. Everybody's fucking used pussies and dicks.
Oh my God.
I say that all the time. Oh yes, just keep it real. Just like you go into a used car lot. Are you like, damn, how many miles on that motherfucker? Like, how many miles on that motherfucker? You know, I mean, that's what it is out there. You know what I'm saying? It's 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 common sense, and we have to take it as that. You know what I'm saying? And the sex do be good, but
So
you gotta watch who you have sex with and who you have babies with.
yeah.
And we suffer the consequences at the end of the day for not making a good decision. And then we have to correct it. We have to figure it out. And when we do, you know what I'm saying, we'll change who we are. We'll change
Yeah.
who we are as a person. We don't want to do it too late, though.
Now you don't want to do it too late, but what I was thinking was the reason why a lot of parents are inconsistent could very well be because they are bitter, and that go for men and women. Cause you got
Absolutely.
some men that fuck her simply because she done moved on. Okay, well your child's still over there, so you can't just be like fuck
This
them.
is true. And sometimes if you get another partner, you can
Uh-huh.
move on. If you get another partner, oh, fuck that nigga over there.
And
Then
you
you
know
get him to
what?
replace me. And some people got to be like, no, we didn't. I got this other partner because this other partner makes me happy.
Happy.
You
Yes.
understand? This ain't, and best believe that you got to have the trust that I have a partner that loves my child just as much as you do. And if they don't, that motherfucker moving around. And trust and believe, I'm not going to put my child in harm's way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. And that's how it started for me, because I would call that person and be like, hey, could you help with daycare this week? Ask that motherfucker over there. Click. Damn, what is you mad for? We not together. We ain't been together. That motherfucker over
So,
here is not.
some people really not ready to let go like that. You know what I'm saying?
And you right.
You know what I'm saying? And all the tricks that he taught you and, do that special thing. Now you doing it on that nigga. Fuck y'all relationship. You know what I'm saying? Fuck your new happiness, nigga. You know what I'm saying? That's what I would say. I'm just saying, just keeping it real. Fuck y'all. I hope y'all relationship go under. I hope that nigga cheat. You know? Oh, well. You know?
You
Say what
crazy.
you want to say. Hope all that shit failed.
Yeah.
Yeah. God damn it. Shit. But you know, you choose your you choose what makes you happy or whatever. You know, you
Right.
choosing your partner make sure hopefully you're responsible enough to choose the right partner for your child, you know what I'm saying, before just jumping into something. And you gotta really tread lightly with children too, because children build bonds. And
Yeah.
that's in another subject in itself. But you know, um, but with the other parent, man, we gotta love to love each other. Even when we don't, we have to love too. Does it make
Mhm.
you happy to the situation? Happy? Just asking. What?
You know, does it make you happy to? Yo, what
Yeah,
that
see,
mean?
I was lost too. I'm lost too. But yeah, we have to figure out how we can still be happy within ourselves. And when we have partners that aren't happy within themselves, we have to learn to move on. We got to learn to be mature. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Mature than what we are. Men, we have to learn to be more mature than what we are. If somebody doesn't want to be there, if somebody sometimes you see the flags early. If you have an issue before you're married, those holes are going to be 10 times worse when you do. We have to
Mm-hmm.
learn to move forward, let go. Most of us like to linger. We're hoarders. We're friend hoarders. We grab people and don't want to let them go. We think we need to grab them and hold on to them because we feel like we got this motherfucking connection here. And really, it ain't shit. We just excited because it's something new. It's something different. You know what I'm saying? And when you feel something different and when you see something new, you know, you get excited about it until you figure the shit out. And when you figure it out, you be like, God damn, what was I thinking? What was I
Yeah.
doing? Why was I trapped in this mode? You know, and we might blame that person, but at the end of the day, it's us because we fell for it. We actually fell for that. And what's to say that we shouldn't have fell for that? Who's going to be that real person to say, you know what? Who's going to be that real friend? Nobody. You got to
Right.
get this within yourself and say, hey, is this somebody I want to spend the rest of my life with? You got to understand this is somebody that's going to wipe my ass. Thinking like, if I can't wipe my ass no more, I got to make sure I'm with somebody that'll turn my ass over and wipe that motherfucker. Kill me after you do it. But you need somebody with you that's going to wipe your ass. You got to think about that.
Yeah.
Who would wipe your ass right now? Who are you with? With your person that you would wipe your ass? We can't, and the kids are out of it because they're gonna live their own life. You got to
Right.
think about what you want to do with yours at the end of the day. So if you think you might have an inconsistent partner, well, use those tips to look into what you may need in a man or in a woman, because we're because we're
You said
with the
midwives.
midwife. Oh, fuck you.
I didn't even know they had
Let,
those.
hey, excuse me. Let me hold on. Don't everything ain't fucking funny, Cherie. Grow up.
Can't
I
stand.
keep wipes in my restroom because I like wipes. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you should wipe your ass. You know what I'm saying, with wipes, then with tissue. You know, to make sure your ass is clean. Um, and I had mint wipes, so my ass is minty fresh at all times. Um, and I
Uh,
do shower after I shit. So I mean, it's okay. You know, I just be a little minty. Nothing wrong with want to be clean.
I
Nothing wrong with
told
that.
you you was
Fuck
gonna
y'all.
do this.
Fuck you and your opinions. Oh well.
I
Who
told you
gives
you
a
was gonna do this.
give a fuck? I have I have a good smelling ass. I bet you that. It's that. It's that material. You got me
Oh
fucked up.
my.
Can't embarrass the kid. You know what I'm saying? But Cherie, man, we had a good talk. I'm glad you came on, man. Appreciate you. I know you stayed up a little bit. You look a little sleepy. You know
Is.
what I'm saying? Yeah, I understand. We're getting older, aren't we? But shoot, thank you for coming through. Thank you for supporting the channel. Everybody else, thank y'all for visiting. Thank you, Cherie, for the conversation. I hope somebody can grab something out of this, learn something. We got to learn to get back together. And hey, man, this is Elevation, and we're here to make change. Thank you, Cherie, and thank you for everybody for joining. Love you guys. Peace.
All
And
right, we
thank
gotta
you.
do this again.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.